Hi, my name is Jira Vargas, and I'm a Latina feminist mental health activist. I'm 33 years old, and I live in New York City. About a few years ago, I started the People of Color and Mental Illness Photo Project, which is in response to the lack of media representation of Black, Indigenous POC when it comes to mental illness. So it's the 30th anniversary of the ADA, and growing up for me, I really had no idea what the ADA was about. It wasn't until college when I started noticing that there was an Office of Disability on campus. And for me, living with mental health conditions, I didn't think that that was something that pertained to me. And so it wasn't until grad school when I realized that I could get accommodations because my anxiety made me feel like I had to double check every question and even triple check. And so I learned that I could get uh, different support systems to be able to make my education easier on me. While I'm really grateful for the ADA for all the things that it provides those with disabilities, such as the ability to have service animals, the ability to get housing, and among other things, for me, the housing aspect is something that still needs work on. Also, when it comes to accommodations and small businesses, a lot of times those services are exempt for those. And I think that all businesses, no matter what size, should be thinking about making those accommodations for people who are living with disabilities. One thing that I would really like to change is the fact that a lot of times when people say the word disabilities, that they don't think of mental health conditions when it comes to that. So I think that it's really an awareness issue as well as just talking about it more often within these communities. I also would really love for there to be uh, more of an intersectional lens when it comes to disability. I feel like a lot of times the access to care for Black, Indigenous POC is lacking. And so if there could be more language, if there could be more of an emphasis on how that impacts people who are marginalized, I think that would be really amazing. Like, there are a lot of things that are going on when it comes to the lack of accessibility, and it can be daunting. What can one person do? But I think that there's a lot of things that we can do. We can reach out to our local representatives and talk about how disability needs to be part of their platform. A lot of times that's the last uh, thing that people think about. And so we should be more active. We should also be part of phone banks, maybe really focusing on people's plans when it comes to disability. I also think that it's important that we ourselves think about disability and how those who live those lives experience life differently. So always being aware of how things that you don't think about is impacting other people. So always making sure that there are image descriptions in your social media posts, either in the caption or in alt text. I think that we need to think about that as well as making sure that when we have events that we are thinking about accommodations. Is there a ramp? Is there going to be someone who does sign language interpretation? We really need to think about our other people because really disability and advocacy is bigger than ourselves.